This jet is insane. Come chat with us on Discord about it. The server invite is in the description. Can't wait to see you there.
What's going on, YouTube? FMS sent us the Yak-130 70mm to test out and review for the channel, and here it is. This thing is awesome so far. We've already flown it off camera and did the most insane Kulbit. We'll get to that. I don't want to spoil the surprise too much. Look at these shock-absorbing landing gear. Nice Viper 70 style, except it's not chicken wire. So it's got the little Viper wheels, but with much better suspension overall. We're using, for a first in channel history, SMC 3600 lithium high voltage packs. We just ordered a bunch of these from Danny, and this is going to be one of the first times we get to show it on camera how awesome these things really are, and you're going to see why just after this flight. All right, so we got the Yak. Let's go ahead and drop the flaps and get her up. Smooth rotation. Turn her voice up a little bit so we can hear what's going on.
22.39 volts.
There we go. Put it into an accelerated stall. Look at this thing go. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's locked in. It's a little too early to call it like that for you guys, but I've flown it off camera already and it flies pretty good. I love how performant it is. I wasn't expecting it to be as agile as it is, being a 70mm jet. But if you like stick smashing, this is a plane you can really get into it with. If you use an elevator to flat mix, you can do this awesome thing right here. Watch this. Elevator to flat mix. Check that Kulbit out. Isn't that insane? It basically tail stood. And it has no problems getting out of it either. It sounds like it has thrust vectoring. It's insane. And you can actually even put it into that maneuver too after it flips up. That was a poor execution on my part. Let's do it again. We'll do it from the side, and then we'll actually come from a dead standstill and flip it upside down. Watch this. Go up, tail slide, the very top of it.
IG.
Look at that thing go. Full elevator, and we're still floating. Stalls coming out, as would be expected. There was not enough airspeed to keep the air flowing over the wings, so it dropped a wing. But the fact that it could do it at all is insanely good. So let's see what else this thing can do. Let's do some more stick smashing with it while it's still up in the air and still in one piece. Let's go ahead and do sticks top inward. 3, 2, 1. Kind of, you know, because the stabs aren't full moving, it does kind of get stuck there a little bit. Now let's do top left. Roll. So yeah, you can see this thing is like, it's got a pretty good flight envelope. I like it, quite a bit, in fact. There's not a whole lot of planes that let you do this crazy Kulbit maneuver with. And these SMC packs really bring it to life. There we go, the sun's getting in my eyes, so I gotta stay away from that spot if I can. Let's give Tony a close pass down the runway. Get her lined up.
22.96 volts.
Still plenty of power, and we're beating this 3600 pack up. It sounds like a 70 mil. I'm not gonna lie to you and say it sounds like an 80 or anything, but it does sound pretty good.
6 minutes.
There are no cheater holes that I saw, unless I'm not paying attention to it enough. So it's got a pretty good sound. I don't think I've snap rolled it yet, so let's see what that does. Pull back left. Okie dokie. That was cool.
What was that?
And yes, for those of you guys who are new to the channel, my original cameraman Tony is here. He's the guy that, you know, was with us through the entire channel's history for the most part. So it's good to have him back. We might be able to get him back once a month. He's busy doing stuff. We'll talk about what that stuff is in the future and maybe surprise you with it, but for the time being, he's just busy and we haven't had a chance to get hold of him.
0.17 volts. IG.
Oh man, that's fun.
That was a good one.
Thank you, yeah. All right, now let's go ahead and bring it in.
22 gear down.
Maybe do 1 or 2 touch and goes. Not much of a flight if you can't bring it down safely. Even though this is not the maiden flight, that was last Monday on the 3rd, or the 2nd. Would have been a better landing had I timed the flare right, but unfortunately these model airplanes don't come with any kind of what do you call it, airspeed indicator, unless I was to put the GPS in it. There's just not enough space in there to do it. So you kind of just have to rely on the seat of your fingers. But yeah, these touch and goes kind of give you an idea of what to expect from it too. Just kind of keep a little bit of throttle, chop as you get close to the ground. And then this last one will be the last one we do, after we do one quick Kulbit. Because I'm not done doing that yet. Insane. Should not be able to do that with a jet that does not have full flying stabilators. There's something unique about the design of this model, and maybe the way FMS built it, that makes it fly like that, and I just absolutely adore it. It's so good. All right, bring her in. Little victory hop on the grass. Pull the stabs back to do a little bit of air braking into the wind, and we'll bring her back and do some B-roll stuff with it.
This jet takes off predictably because it has an upward thrust line. This means that the jet blast points up and causes the nose to rotate on its own. You're going to want a bit of down elevator mixed into your flap system to compensate for this, otherwise it will take off like a rocket. Landing this jet is pretty easy, again because of the upward thrust line. If it starts to stall out, a bit of throttle will help keep it in the air. It exhibits wing rocking tendencies at low airspeeds if you pull the elevator to maintain angle of attack. So the trick is to make a shallow glide slope and chop throttle right before flaring. It'll take some practice, but it's easy to do. As with anything in aviation, practice and repetition is the key to mastery. Landings are usually difficult for many pilots, but if you take the time to practice your skills, it pays off in airplanes that still look new after 100 flights. The Yak has a pretty impressive flight envelope. It's capable of very slow flight with full flaps without stalling. Flaps can be weird on model aircraft. On some models they have little effect, but on the Yak they slow it down impressively. The rudder authority on the Yak is very strong. It can hold a knife edge and can perform a full rudder roll too.
It does knife edge, full rudder. Look at that. It's coupled aileron, but that's a rudder roll only. Jeez.
It isn't a slouch for power either. We didn't have room to put in the GPS, but a good estimate is about 100 miles an hour for those of you who find speed to be important.
Drop the flaps.
And now the real fun begins, and we're going to come out and say that this is a solid 9.5 out of 10 for us. The upward thrust line produces a ridiculous Kulbit backflip that we haven't even begun to perform with any other model. It acts like it's thrust vectored, and unlike a downward pointed thrust line, you can actually have a lot of fun with this.
This thing is insane. That was a full elevator up, or yeah, down the elevator, is what I say.
2 minutes before.
See if it does that thing without the flaps.
They almost did it better.
Yeah, we might be right about that, but I think I like it better because it stays now, but easier. too close to those trees. You never know where that's going to go out, and maybe that one time it flies right into them.
Good content, huh?
It would be good content.
IG. IG.
I could almost land it like that. I might break the plane, but I could land it like that.
Could.
If you enjoyed this video, do us a favor and smash that like button, and maybe consider subscribing too. Links to buy this jet are in the description. It's a huge help to us at no additional cost to you. See you next time with a new upload.